What if the very beginning of Stranger Things held the key to its epic final showdown? In Season 5, Vecna coming back could mean more than just trouble for Hawkins. It might unleash a hidden power that's been growing in Will since the very first episode. As the series circles back to its roots, the mystery surrounding Will's connection to the Upside Down might finally explode into something much bigger than anyone expected. Could Will be the secret weapon we didn't see coming? Let's talk about how Season 5 might pay off a moment we've overlooked for far too long. It all started with a roll of the dice. In Stranger Things Season 1 Episode 1 titled, The Vanishing of Will Byers, the boys are locked in a 10-hour Dungeons & Dragons campaign, teetering on the edge of fantasy and fate. When the Demogorgon was about to get them, Will had to throw a fireball to save everyone. But then, real life got in the way, and the game was left hanging, just like Will's story. That moment, so seemingly small, has echoed through every season since. D&D isn't just a game for them, it's like a whole world that helps us see the bad guys and what's going to happen to the characters. Now that the show's almost over, it's hard not to wonder, what if that first, unfinished D&D game wasn't just a childhood memory, but the narrative blueprint for how this story ends? What if Will's choice, his being scared, or maybe his hidden powers, is finally coming back? With Vecna's return threatening to consume everything, the show may be circling back to the moment that started it all. And this time, the dice are gonna roll. In the Stranger Things Season 5 teaser trailer, one moment stands out above the rest, a final, chilling image of Vecna standing tall and unyielding as he holds back a roaring wall of fire. It's a super intense, end-of-the-world kind of image, and it makes you wonder what's going on. At first, you might think it's just another fight like they always do in Hawkins, the crew attacking, maybe with a flamethrower or something, trying to wear Vecna down so Eleven can do her thing. That would make sense, but what if there's more to it? What if this fiery standoff isn't just about brute force, but it means something bigger, like, based on a theory people have been talking about forever? Could the fire have something to do with Will Byers and this power everyone thinks he has had since Season 1? Fire usually means destruction and starting over, and since the show's wrapping up, that moment could mean a hidden power is waking up. Maybe the flames aren't just a weapon against Vecna, they may represent a power within someone we've overlooked for too long. Let's be clear, no one's expecting Will Byers to suddenly burst into flame or shoot fireballs from his hands like a superhero in a comic book. In the world of Stranger Things, with all the weird stuff already happening, that would just seem totally off. The Duffer Brothers don't go for big, showy powers, they're all about the mind games, the feelings, and the telekinesis stuff. The powers we've seen, like Eleven moving things with her mind, spying on people, or throwing bad guys around, and even Vecna messing with people's heads and memories, they all come from really strong mental and emotional energy. These abilities aren't about flashy spectacle, they're intimately tied to trauma, pain, and personal history. Like, Eleven gets her powers from her feelings, especially fear, anger, and love. And Vecna's mind control. That comes from a deep hatred and wanting to mess with people's heads. Even Callie, otherwise known as 8, doesn't wield fire or ice. Her unique ability allows her to create vivid illusions in the minds of others, blurring the line between what's real and what's imagined. It's like, the most dangerous power here isn't a big blast, it's messing with your mind and soul. So when we talk about Will potentially having a power, it wouldn't be some fantastical, pyrotechnic display. It'd be something way more low-key, more unsettling, maybe even something that's always been there. Like, maybe he's extra sensitive to the Upside Down, or has a psychic link to Vecna, or maybe he has a hidden ability like the other kids Brenner experimented on. Whatever it is, it'll probably come from the same place, a deep emotional hurt, a connection to the dark side, and a mind messed up by everything he's been through. And if that fire in the trailer is more than just a weapon, if it's like, a metaphor or something psychic, it could be Will's inner struggle finally showing itself in a way we never saw coming. The idea of Will Byers suddenly transforming into the Human Torch, flames blazing, flying through the sky, is, of course, completely ludicrous within the Stranger Things universe. That kind of superhero-style spectacle belongs more in the pages of a Marvel comic than in the grounded, emotionally driven world the Duffers have created. But just because Will's not gonna burst into flames doesn't mean he's powerless. Something deeper has been brewing. Since Stranger Things Season 2, fans have been theorizing that Will may possess more than just a connection to the Upside Down. He might be evolving into something more. After being possessed and trapped there, he's not just traumatized, he's shown an uncanny sensitivity to supernatural forces. He feels the mind flare, he senses upside-down disturbances that no one else can. It's always been blamed on his time there, but what if it's more? What if those feelings are just the start? It's entirely plausible that Will could be developing powers of his own, abilities that mirror or complement Eleven's. If so, that Vecna shot in the Season 5 teaser trailer is a whole new ballgame. It might not just be the crew fighting Vecna, it could be Will, doing something we never saw coming. Picture a scene reminiscent of Eleven's iconic moment in Season 2, when she uses her powers to close the gate to the Upside Down with raw psychic force. But this time, it's Will, using something hidden inside him, maybe even messing with the world around him. Yes, it's a stretch. The theory is bold, even a little out there. But Stranger Things has always been about growing up and feelings as much as it's been about scary monsters and horror. Will started as the kid who disappeared, the one who needed help. How powerful, how poetic, would it be for him to become the one who saves everyone else? Bringing his journey full circle from that very first night in the basement with the Demogorgon figurine to a final showdown with Vecna himself could be a masterstroke in storytelling. It would bring the whole story back to the very beginning. Fire likely won't be the element that ultimately destroys Vecna, not entirely. He practically made the Mind Flayer his own weapon, so maybe cutting that link is the way to go. Still, fire's pretty useful. Remember how Joyce used heat to get the Mind Flayer out of Will in Season 2? Maybe using fire to weaken Vecna's hold on the Upside Down, or even burn it out of him, could work. But maybe the real weapon isn't fire at all. Will's psychic link to the Upside Down, combined with any new abilities he's developed during the show's upcoming time jump, could make him the one person capable of turning the tide. He might even boost Eleven's powers from the inside, helping her get into Henry's head. Or, get this, Will could take it a step further and take control of the Upside Down from Vecna, becoming its new boss. I don't see Will going down the same dark road as Henry. It'd mess up everything he stands for, his resilience, innocence, and the lasting effects of trauma. But if they flipped the script and let Will control the Upside Down instead of always being its victim, that would be epic. It'd wrap up his story perfectly and finally give him some control and closure, which he's needed since Season 1. With Stranger Things ending, there are tons of ways Will, Eleven, and Vecna's stories could come together. They're all connected, like mirrors reflecting each other's pain, power, and fate. Whether Will helps Eleven, becomes a link to the Upside Down, or something else entirely, he won't be in the background anymore. Whatever happens in the final fight, Season 5 will show how important and powerful Will really is. What do you think Will's true role will be? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Will's mysterious powers, don't forget to like and subscribe to Strangers Freaks for more.